Hi everybody, I'm John Accardo, he's John Granger, and it's Sunday morning, May 3rd, 2020. Today's the day of the Boro Bike Tour in New York City. Yeah, but it's been canceled because of this crazy virus we're all going through. Today would have been the third consecutive year for the St. Baldrick's Boro Bike team to participate in the event, raising funds for St. Baldrick's and for the pediatric cancer research that they support. So we're switching to Plan B. Today we're going to take a ride east to Montauk Point. 65 plus miles, 65.3 of social distancing out to a place that they call the end around here. So for today's ride, I'm Bald, he's Rick, and together with the St. Baldrick's team, come on along with us. It's a beautiful day, the rain's moved out, the sun's shining, and along the way, we'll point out some sights and delve into some of the history of Long Island, some of which may surprise you. All right, here we go. So here we are, we're about 5 miles from my house now, and we're deep in the central Pine Barrens region of Long Island. Off to the left, through those trees, a mile or so, is the world famous Brookhaven National Laboratory. It's on the grounds of the former Camp Upton that was started by the US Army back during World War I. One of the notable soldiers that was stationed there was none other than Irving Berlin, where he wrote the musical Yip Yip Yap Hank, and also the famous song, Oh How I Hate to Get Up in the Morning. The camp closed after World War I, and then it was recommissioned during World War II, mainly as a convalescent center for soldiers returning from the war. Nowadays the lab is into all sorts of exotic sciences, study of particle physics, nanotechnologies, renewable energies, and eco-sciences. Also on the grounds are a series of bogs and ponds which create the Peconic River system. The Peconic River is the longest river on Long Island. Much of it is contained within these central Pine Barrens, where it flows along what's called the Ronkonkoma Moraine, which is left over from the Wisconsin ice sheet that formed Long Island. You can just see the river coming up on the left. Just the beginnings of it. It's a small stream. And again, it's the longest river on Long Island. We'll be paralleling the river all the way to its terminus in Riverhead, where it empties into Flanders Bay. The central Pine Barrens region is an area that's sparsely populated, rich in wildlife, and native exotic or rare exotic plants native to Long Island. This is an area that's great for hiking, paddling, and of course cycling. It's actually a true wilderness in the center of Long Island. Coming up on the left is Hidden Pond Stables, a horse farm here in the Pine Barrens, and there's a mom and her little puppy horse out in the field. Beautiful sight early in the morning. So here we are, we're about 11 miles into the ride now. We're kind of passing through the moraine area, up and down the hills, before we get out to the main road out to Riverhead. Highway 24 now. We're still right smack in the middle of the Pine Barrens. 24 cuts a swath from the Long Island Expressway in a southeasterly direction directly to downtown Riverhead, and then all the way to Hampton Bays. So the next stop, Riverhead, and then the Big Duck. So we're coming into Riverhead Central District now. Riverhead was founded in 1690 when a grist mill was built at the mouth of the Peconic River, which is, the river is just off to our left here, right behind the business district. Here we got to go through a traffic circle or roundabout, whatever you prefer. Riverhead became the county seat of Suffolk County in 1727 because it provided a good central meeting point for the people of both forks. Instead of the people from the South Fork having to travel to the old county center in Southold on the North Fork. We're coming into Flanders now, where the Big Duck is located. So we're in the middle of the village of Flanders now, and coming up on the left is the world famous Big Duck. We'll be stopping here. We're about 19 miles into the ride, and this will be our first rest stop. Well, here we are in Flanders at the Big Duck. Long Island was famous for its duck farming. At one time in Suffolk County here, over 90 duck farms were in operation. In 1931, local duck farmer Martin Mora commissioned the Big Duck as a store to sell his ducks and duck eggs. It was built in the business district on Main Street in Riverhead, about 4 miles away. And in 1937, he had the duck moved here to this location, which was close to his farms. The Big Duck remained in operation until 1984, when this land was slated for development. At that time, it was closed, and its future was uncertain. A group was formed called Friends of the Big Duck, and a movement was gotten underway to save the Big Duck. In 1988, it was donated to Suffolk County, and it was moved down Route 24 a few miles to Sears Bellows Park, where it reopened as a gift store selling mostly duck-related items. In 1997, it was added to the National Register of Historic Places. Ultimately, this land was never developed. So in 2007, amid much fanfare, it was moved back here to this location where it's now permanently settled. When it's open, it's got a lot of duck memorabilia, a lot of history of the Big Duck, and of course it sells trinkets that are duck related to support the operation. It's a great place to visit. It's a great example of Americana roadside art, and a great piece of the history of Long Island duck farming. You should visit. Now we're still cruising along Route 24, and you can see deep in the Pine Barrens here. This is all native forest of Long Island. Just a little to the west of here was the area of the Great Long Island wildfires back in 1995. That was quite an event. You can still see the scars of it in some areas. Off to the right is Sears Bellows County Park, and just beyond that fence there, this was the area where the Big Duck was relocated back in 1988 before it was moved back to Flanders in 2007. We're here at the Shinnecock Canal, just east of Hampton Bays. The canal was opened to traffic in 1892. The area of the canal is known as Canoe Place, because back before there was a canal, this is an area where the Native Americans used to portage their canoes from the Great Peconic Bay to the north over to Shinnecock Bay on the south. That's Shinnecock Bay there. It's actually an indentation of the Atlantic Ocean that was eventually closed in. You can see the island, the barrier island way off in the distance. That closed the bay in. The Great Hurricane of 1938 broke through that barrier beach and created what's now known as the Shinnecock Inlet. So the canal provides a great access for people on the North Fork to boat across, go through the canal into the bay and out to the ocean. This is the only operating lock on Long Island, which you can see just off to the north here. Where you can see the rapid current. You can see a boat coming through now. There's about a 3-foot difference in height between the waters of the Peconic Bay and the Shinnecock Bay, so the lock is needed for that. We're totally on the South Fork of the island now, and this is technically the unofficial start of the Hamptons region of Long Island. Although the people of West Hampton and West Hampton Beach might argue with that, this is what people tend to think of as the Hamptons area. So from here, it's on Montauk Highway all the way to the point. Off in the distance there, the land you see coming up is the Shinnecock Indian Nation. We got a little roadside lobster here. Here comes John now. I just wanted to get you on videos cycling up. Coming into the village of Southampton now. See a canal off to the right there. Beautiful town center. Morning. Normally a very busy little village. Unfortunately, with this crazy pandemic, it's deserted. Lots of nice, beautiful stores in here. Great window shopping. High-end merchandise. Lots of boutique shops. But sidewalks are rolled up right now. Here comes a moose. Good morning, Mr. Moose. Coming through the center of town. And the cheese shop. Town hall. Beautiful example of some of the East End towns. And we're at the halfway point. So here we are in the village of Watermill. We're about 35.5 miles into the ride, just east of Southampton. And what do we have here? Windmills on Long Island? Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of them. This is the James Corwith windmill, built by James Mitchell in 1800 in a place called North Haven, which is a few miles north of here, on a peninsula by Sag Harbor. It was bought and moved here by a James Corwith in 1813. This is actually the smallest windmill on Long Island. The sails are only 23 feet long, but as a matter of fact, the South Fork of Long Island has the largest regional group of windmills in all of America. So this is the first one. We'll see others as well. I told you it was surprising. village of East Hampton. A very exclusive area out here on the east end of Long Island. There's some beautiful homes here, all along the area. A lagoon, old cemetery, some gorgeous old houses. Another windmill. There's 3 windmills here in the village of East Hampton. We'll be stopping to look at one of them, not this one, but another one. Right in the center of East Hampton right now, there's the town, the village. And up ahead is the third of the 3 windmills that are here. So here we are at the old hook mill. So this is the old hook mill here in East Hampton. This one was built in 1806 and it operated regularly until 1908. This town of East Hampton is the only place in the United States that maintains 3 historic windmills. The other 2 we just passed. One was the Pantego mill built in 1769, and the other one is the Gardner mill, the first one we passed, built in 1804. So up ahead we got the big hill and the little way. I don't know which way you'd rather go. So we're coming up now, we're on the narrow spit of sand that leads out to Montauk. We're almost there. The road splits up ahead. There's the low road and there's the high road. Which way would you rather go?
Go right.
My plan was to go this way. Coming up on the Hither Hills State Park, just prior to Montauk Village. Beautiful oceanfront area. Decided to take the low road rather than the high road to avoid a big climb at the end of the ride. It's exactly 10 miles to the lighthouse from here. Off to the left there, you can see some of the magnificent homes with the ocean view up on the bluffs. This is kind of where the glaciers that form Long Island finished out, dropped a big pile of sand, and then retreated. There's some amazing homes along here. Multi-million. Okay, even though this is the low road, there's still some heavy hills to climb, but off to the right, stop for a minute. There's the Atlantic. Looking southbound here, some unbelievable homes down there and resorts. Going up on Gurney's, one of the major resorts out here. You can see the ocean out there. Gotta watch the road though. Got a chance to fly when you go down hills. 30 miles an hour. Yeah. Here's a great view as we come downhill towards Montauk of the coastline. Lots of resorts along the shoreline here in the summertime. Great views of the ocean. We're rejoining Montauk Highway now from Old Montauk Highway. We avoided the big hill. We're coming down into the village of Montauk now. 60 miles on the dot. There you see the sign, Montauk Point is 6 miles from here. Center of Montauk is a kind of a circle. It's called the Plaza. Lots of shops, lots of eateries. Popular area here in the summertime. And incredible fishing out in the ocean. Lots of bikers, lots of fishermen. And here we come right into the center now. This is the plaza here. All the bikers come out for the day. There's the green in the summertime. There's a farmer's market here. It's a beautiful area. We'll just cruise on through right now to get to the point. Well, I just climbed the biggest hill of the day. Still a couple of miles from the point, but you can get a great view from up here. There's our first glimpse at the lighthouse. It's a short ride down. Right? State Park. Coming up on the end of the ride. Now let's get busy here. Everybody's stopping for a look. Look at the traffic jam out here on the east end. We're just going out for a ride on a beautiful day. So we've made it. Here we are. We finally got to the Montauk Point Lighthouse, the very eastern tip of Long Island. The lighthouse was commissioned by the Second Congress under President George Washington in 1792 and was completed in November of 1796. It stands 110 feet high, and being up on a bluff, its light can be seen 19 nautical miles out at sea. Obviously, it's still in use today. This is what Long Island is called the end. There is no more land. The next stop is Portugal. So thanks for coming along today. Hope you enjoyed some of the sights along the way. And with the symbolism of the end, this ride was for St. Baldrick's. Let's bring an end to childhood cancer. This is for Jen, for our newest angel Marissa, and for John's son Andrew, who is a fortunate survivor of brain cancer. Thanks again.